Легкий способ бросить курить. Не давай табачным компаниям набивать себе карманы. Бросай курить, бросай. Жми на ссылку в описании.
Morning everybody. Good morning. Yeah, I'm doing part 2 of my ramblings about the future technologies and what is happening, the trends. Yeah, I had a brainstorm. I don't look my best, and a bit of a party as well, which is good because I'm not usually that open with whoever I don't know personally. It's more about throw up of ideas and technologies and what is happening. So I've talked in part 1 what is being done by Apple, Google. I'm just sitting in the couch in my house. Well, so Microsoft, as I said, is adopting Linux. Well, you'd be surprised. Apple using FreeBSD for all this, so they're Unix-based operating system. So everybody's using sort of like Siri, and it's called Cortana, and there are analogs for Android and so on. So voice and interfaces with artificial intelligence, and then there's drones, which are now everywhere. Self-driving cars, we have self-driving planes, and that's all happening. So the next step, what is going to happen? And my corporation is basically a think tank of ideas. We're not about profit, although profits are enormous in the future. And obviously we consult, essentially. We create concepts. And there are people, well, it's a worldwide network of enthusiasts, so to say. But I'm not advertising. We'll hire smart, good-looking actors to do our advertisement when we want it. And, we'll do it much better than Steve Jobs used to do it or whoever. Well, so that is not at the moment. I'm just rambling after a night brainstorm, a few drinks and stuff, just about throw up of ideas, who's interested. So, at the moment, computing is multitasking. It's not bad. It's thin and semiconductor-based. Oh, shut up. Why don't I block you? If you're not interested, just don't join up. You're blocked. I just am not interested in people who just, I have sex or whatever, we have a drink party. We all have drink parties, and just get lost. Don't interfere with our costs, which we're discussing. And you see, I'm a little upset by silly people. So we'll be blocked immediately and forever, and probably even from all. Because, I have friends in very high quarters, so just don't mess with me. I'm a very nice man, very open-minded, but just hate that sort of attitude. So, what is quantum computing? So, modern computers use what is called von Neumann technology. Von Neumann was a quantum scientist. You see, I come from that sort of area as well. And Richard Feynman was Nobel laureate in physics, who you may have heard of, not to check Wikipedia, for example. And it's a classical architecture. It's multitasking, multiprocessor, multi-core and stuff. But it uses classical logics. Just as there is classical mechanics and there is a quantum mechanics as well. So quantum computing essentially solves algorithms in a different way. It's to do also with привет, кто говорит по-русски. Yes, I have Russian roots. I'm an Irish citizen living in Dublin, which is the European Silicon Valley, so to say. It's not as powerful by any means, though. But we have all the multinational environment. Well, we'll talk in English because everybody understands it. So, but obviously I speak Russian as well. I've studied at Moscow State University originally, but then I had many other things in my life. It's not about me. Read my bios and my links and profile and stuff. But so quantum computing is to do with non-classical algorithms and the modern encryption, which basically saves all your data. There was this very serious argument going on about Apple versus FBI, San Bernardino terror case and stuff. And I never understood, I understood why they wanted, but seriously, breaking an iPhone is a joke. What can you think? No, it's, of course, cannot be done routinely and trivially. You need to be an expert. And what you do is you basically disassemble it, right? And, let's say an iPhone, for example, since that was the case, same you do with Android or whatever. you remove the memory chips professionally. You can't do it at home DIY style. No, you'll definitely destroy it that way. So, and then you put on a stand, and so the operating system which runs it isn't being applied. Therefore, after failed number, if you use an ordinary bank card, like 3 wrong inputs of your PIN is blocked. Apple is a little nicer. You can configure it actually in iOS new versions, but essentially after 10 times everything being deleted. But delete is a process which is run by the operating system. And but then why do you have to run operating system? So essentially, if you have the code and you just use the hardware, the memory chips or whatever is inside, I mean hard drives and other devices or SSD, you basically put them on a correctly configured stand, and if you know the format of it, and you can do infinite number of retrials, just figuring out algorithm, but then you use also artificial intelligence, which would use some inputs about what possibly your passwords would be. Believe me, my friends, my passwords are the worst in the world. No, I don't invite anybody breaking them. That's just not rewarding. I mean, I obviously will change them immediately, reset so, but I mean, no, it's not the point. I'm saying they're unbreakable. Of course they are, because they're classical. That's what I'm pointing out. But they're really very long, very complex, and I never remembered. It's impossible, I mean, for a human to remember. They're written on a piece of paper and saved in a safe, so you cannot. Hi, everybody. So I'm talking about quantum computing and artificial intelligence. Rambling after brainstorm night and a bit of partying, but I'm in good shape, I had already a cup of tea. 6 a.m. here in Dublin, Ireland. But the trouble is with this sort of classical encryption, although it uses your password manager, don't use it. I won't, one password, for example, a very good app, which exists for iOS. I wouldn't trust it. No, I mean, would you trust iCloud? You see, if one day some FBI agent would decide, Apple must give up whatever backdoor into your data. And you see, Microsoft completely gave up to that. So Firefox, I have Firefox, I have Chrome, I have everything, every, person who's quite, IT wise person would know them. But you could use this or that. You could save your passwords and don't. But for banking, I would never use those. And of course, HTTPS encrypted, which is good already. But you see, that could be broken too. Not as easily as, I think plain HTTP and plain mail should be basically banned. But it's a question of regulation. We all live in the terror world where terrorists use it. And then the more encryption, the harder it is for the whatever FBI, CIA, MI, FSB, whatever it is, whatever power structures who deal with that, with terror and protect our safety and our banks, they would love to actually read that. So I'm gonna just basically quickly check up on my cat, so I'll continue in a few minutes, depending on how long cats take. So wrapping up just for a moment, thank you. We'll continue.